having looked at some of the odds, what I'm actually going to go for is Southampton to score more than once. Blackpool are 1.4 to simply score a goal. Here is my long shot for Saturday's games. So the odds here are 21.26. Wow. Welcome back, football fans, to another episode of the Prediction Show. Another festive football weekend lies ahead. We are going to be looking at games from the Premier League, the EFL, the Bundesliga, and everything in between. Today is Filter Friday. This video comes out on Friday. If you're watching it on Saturday, no problem at all. Filter Friday means that we use quick filters to find high potential games for the full weekend ahead. Let's get going with our first quick filter then. Without further ado, let's get into it. So I want to find games where there is going to be an away goal. So first of all, let's search for the probability. We're going to filter on the probability model. Now, bear in mind there are thousands of games being played this weekend. Look what happens when we enter a few simple rules into this tool. So 35% or higher for an away win. Next, we're going to select away goal probability and we're going to set this to 65%. So the model is expecting an away goal. Then we're going to add a stat for the away team. We're going to go for PPG. It's a good indicator of how a team is doing. And we're going to say they have picked up 1.2 or more points per game on average away from home this season. Next up, a rule for the home team and goals conceded on average at home, 1.2 as well. Let's see what games we get. Let's put this to 1.25, shall we? 1.25. We hit search for Friday. These are the games we get. Let's dig in. So we've got games in the A-League, we've got Ukrainian games, we've got Romanian games. These are filtered by time, sorted by time. And as we get down this list, we then see that we have games from the Bundesliga here. Union Berlin against Leipzig. I think that is the game that we will check out. It seems like the standout game. So the first thing we'll look at is Leipzig, and we can see that they are decent odds over evens away from home. Now, Union Berlin's form has been up and down over the past year. Starting with Leipzig, we see that they are in pretty good form. Just one defeat since the opening weekend of the season when they lost 6-0 at Bayern Munich. And speaking of 6-0, they come into this on the back of a 6-0 at home to Frankfurt. That is some result there. 3 clean sheets on the bounce at the moment. At home, they are perfect this season. Away from home, only 2 defeats and failing to score in a couple of their away games so far this season. One of them, as mentioned before, being away at Bayern Munich. Now, there is another tool that we can use to find insights on the Bundesliga. Let's check out our new AI football predictions page. So let's take a look at OddAlerts AI and what it is saying for this game. Link in the description for this and for the Premier League version of the page, the Championship, League One version. We can see here Union's lively home games versus Leipzig's tighter defence. BTTS has landed in 7 of Union's last 10 home games, over 2.5 goals in 8 of 10. And then underdog Union as well. They get outshot in 7 of their last 10 games. Their form is modest, it says. 3 wins, 3 draws, 4 defeats. Their home games are chaotic. 8 out of 10 going over 2.5 goals, 7 out of 10 BTTS, 7 out of 10 over 4.5 cards as well. And we can jump back to the site and check out the referee. It is Daniel Schlager. I bet he had a good Oktoberfest, didn't he? Schlager? Lager? No. Anyway, yellow cards, 702 and 156 appearances across all of our records for him in the database. Let's check out his Bundesliga data for this season. 3.83 cards per game. A massive swing in second half cards for him. 2.67. 16 yellow cards shown, cards in general to be fair, versus just 4 in the first half. Coming back to the OddAlerts AI page for a second, Union matches see over 9.5 corners in 7 of their last 10. Leipzig have hit this in 8 of their last 10 and average 11.7 corners, with 6.1 being for them. And it's saying that the model is giving a modest value bet for over 9 corners. That is an interesting line to potentially look at for this Friday night game in the Bundesliga. And when looking at the results tab, we can take a look at the corners and we can see at home, Union Berlin have 5 or more corners in every single home game that they have played so far this season. So here's my first selection, thanks to quick filters, thanks to the fixture component as well, which lets you look through all of the stats that you need, and of course OddAlerts AI for some of these insights. Union Berlin to get over 3 corners, as they have in every single home game so far this season. That was 1.4. Over 1 goals being a bit less risky there, if you will. Of course, you can go BTTS or over 2.5 goals. Both have occurred in the majority of recent games for both of these teams. Leipzig to score a goal. They've scored 23 in the last 10 games, I think it was. And then both teams to receive a card. I was going to go with second half cards, but the odds were not too much different. And Leipzig have been known this season to score a few first half goals. So it could be that they want to start strong and attack from the off, and of course that could lead to early cards for Union Berlin. But as we saw with the referee, he likes to keep his card in his pocket. So this is 2.15 over evens for the Bundesliga on Friday night. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. So that's Friday's games. We'll just touch the one game for Friday because I know most of you will be looking at this video for Saturday's games. What you can do once you've loaded your rules here, you can just click on the calendar icon, click Saturday, and it will just load Saturday's games with the same details. So let's just take a quick look at some of the games that we get here. Everton against Arsenal in the Women's Super League. We can actually look at the stats if you want to, so you can just get a glance of the data. We can see both teams scored in 80% of games. In the second Bundesliga, over 1.5 goals in 80% of games. Oxford against Preston. We now get some championship games as we get to 12:30 UK time. Norwich City against Southampton. Norwich City 23rd in the championship against Southampton, who are 9th. I think we will check out that game because Southampton on this channel this season have been magnificent for us, especially BTTS. I think it's landed every single time that we have mentioned it and backed it on the channel. We'll take a look at this game and we'll potentially back it again. But let's first, as always, take a look at the data. Before we check out the Southampton game, don't forget to put your predictions in the comments. Every comment in December is automatically entered into a draw to win OddAlerts Pro. Let me know what you're on this weekend, what you think of the video, what you want to see me cover on the video. I will read and reply to every single comment. Get them in, and this is the winner from the previous video. Well done to you. I will be in touch with you to kickstart your free month of OddAlerts Pro. So the change in form for Southampton is drastic. We can see here not many wins, plenty of draws under Will Still, who is still without a job. He'll be playing Football Manager over the Christmas break, won't he? No doubt. But we can see BTTS is just landing in most games, especially away from home. It has landed in every single game. It couldn't happen again, could it? They are scoring plenty of goals now at the moment as well. So 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. The new manager there, he's got the job permanently until the end of the season, and you can see why. They played some good teams in this spell as well, going to Charlton and scoring 5. Not many teams do that. Not many teams go to Charlton and score 5. That was an emphatic result. Then they beat Leicester 3-0. Let's have a look at the probability model for this one. It is suggesting that Southampton are going to get the job done, although it is only 40%. The odds in reality, 1.9, as high as over evens. That is tempting, isn't it? What do you think about this one? Let's have a look at Norwich's data. They've won 1 game since the end of August. Absolutely terrible. But one thing that stands out right there is BTTS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the last 10 games. And at home, no clean sheets this season, but they have not lost in the last couple of games. So for this one, having looked at some of the odds, what I'm actually going to go for is Southampton to score more than once, because it could be a 2-0, it could be a 3-0. Over 2.5 goals is lower odds than 1.72, but I think Southampton will continue their good goal scoring form here. 1.72 for them to score more than once. And remember, our quick filter was filtering for strong-ish away teams in terms of scoring, and we know that Southampton have been scoring away from home all season under Will Still as well, because BTTS was landing all the time, wasn't it? They just couldn't get the results. Now they are. Norwich 23rd, It looks like a Southampton away win and plenty of goals. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now let's find a partner in crime for this selection. The next game on this list comes from Scotland. I bet it's pretty cold up there in Scotland at the moment. And Dundee, they have not won a game since October. They beat St Mirren at home. They are facing Motherwell, who are third, of course, in the Scottish Premiership, unbeaten since the 18th of October. A clean sheet in the last 4 games. I'm liking the double chance for this one. BTTS are over 1.5 goals, tempting, but they can keep a clean sheet. And of course, they've got a few 0-0s in there. A 0-0 with Hearts, which is pretty good going this season if you've watched Hearts and how they play. So very good defensively, Motherwell at the moment. Let's take a look at the odds because I think this could be an interesting one for double chance. So the draw or Motherwell is at 1.4. That takes us up to 2.41. Now we are going to jump back. Now the next game that we're going to look at and the next game that I think I'm going to include in this treble is going to be an EFL treble for Saturday is Blackpool. They are facing Lincoln. And Lincoln, as we can see here, they're a good team, but away from home, no victory in 4 games. They are still third, so that shows how good they were at the start of the season. Plenty of wins and not many defeats at the start of the season, but they have started to concede goals, and especially away from home, no victory in 4. Now, Blackpool, they are getting some key players back. Josh Bowler returned to the team in this 3-0 victory away at Rotherham, a very impressive 3-0 victory, and they are getting more and more players back every week, Blackpool, and they really have been unlucky this year with injuries, and the players that are coming back are making a big difference. Blackpool are 1.4 to simply score a goal in this game, and that, for me, is definitely worth taking. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments. The probability model is cutting it pretty fine in terms of the away win. It is just ever so slightly favouring Lincoln City. So that takes us to 3.38 for this EFL Saturday treble. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Every comment is automatically entered into a draw to win OddAlerts Pro. Do you trust Blackpool? Will Southampton and BTTS? Can they score more than once? I think they can in this game. And of course, Motherwell, can they continue this unbeaten run? Now it is time for the Premier League section of this video. We're going to just show you a brand new page. Again, link in the description. This is a value bets tab on our Premier League section on OddAlerts. You can view this for any league in the world to check if there are value bets for your favourite league. We can see there are value bets for Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Brighton, draw or away double chance. BTTS is a modest value bet. The odds coming from Betfair Exchange in that example. Yeah, plenty of value bets. BTTS no in Crystal Palace, Manchester City. Crystal Palace to beat Man City again, as they did in the FA Cup final, of course. Nottingham Forest to win is a value bet as well. Sunderland against Newcastle, the small matter of Sunderland against Newcastle. That has got me excited to look at the fixtures and give some predictions. So let's do it right now. So here we go. And Liverpool against Brighton, Saturday, 13th of December, Liverpool with or without Mo Salah. What are your thoughts on that whole drama? Who's thrown who under the bus? Mo Salah, will it be his final game if he plays? I think he'll be on the bench again. I think Slot is a little bit ruthless like that. He will probably leave him on the bench until the last 20 minutes. That's my opinion. I did say the first game Salah was benched before that on this channel, we said that I think this is the game Salah's going to drop out because Slot has his hands tied, really. He's tried everything else. He's moved everyone else around at the top end of the pitch. Isak's been on the bench. Gakpo, Ekitike is probably the one who really shouldn't be on the bench. He's the only one that's been consistently scoring and playing well. I think Liverpool will draw again in this game. I can see 2-2. Brighton are a very good team, and they're a team that will exploit Liverpool's gaps, just massive, massive gaps that Liverpool give you at the moment. So 2-2 is my prediction for this one. Chelsea-Everton, going to go with a very boring, stable, professional 2-0 win for Chelsea. Nearly said Everton there, no chance. Burnley-Fulham, I'm going to go with a bit of an upset here. 1-0 to Burnley, a big win and a demoralising win for fans of the next game, which is Arsenal against Wolves. Arsenal are going to win this game and they're not going to concede a goal, which means it's another defeat for Wolves. Arsenal 4-0 is my prediction for this one. Let me know as I'm doing this what you think in the comments. Do you disagree with me as we get on to Sunday's games? Just over 10 days to Christmas at this point. West Ham against Aston Villa. West Ham in better goal scoring form at the moment, as we've seen on this channel. Aston Villa also in good goal scoring form, but have been playing in Europe, so I will see and I will expect West Ham to continue scoring. I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory for Aston Villa. I think Unai Emery has got Aston Villa ticking at the moment. Crystal Palace, Man City. I think Man City are pretty hot at the moment. I'm going to go with a 3-0 City win. That's right. The big one. The big one. The biggest one in the northeast, certainly. Sunderland against Newcastle. I think this one will be a great contest, a great battle, but I think it will disappoint neutrals that are thinking it's going to be a sort of 4-4 thriller again, you know, like back in the day. I think it's probably going to be a 1-0 win, and I don't know which way yet, or a 1-1 game. I think it's going to be incredibly tight. I'm going to go 1-1 for this one. Nottingham Forest, Tottenham. Nottingham Forest, Tottenham. The Brennan Johnson derby. I'm going to go 2-1 to Spurs. Late victory for Spurs. Brentford Leeds. I'm going to go Brentford 2-1 victory. So plenty of goals on that Saturday. And then Monday, we are going to go with Manchester United 2-0 victory. Bournemouth have been a bit disappointing recently, haven't they? So they are my predictions. I'm going to put together a long shot selection now using data from the Football Form Guide, link in the description. And I'm going to put one together for Saturday and for Sunday as well. So I'll show you that in the next screen. Here is my long shot for Saturday's games. Arsenal to score over 2, as I said in my predictions there. Chelsea to beat Everton 1.66. Liverpool, Brighton, BTTS, and then Burnley or draw 8.43. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Now to Sunday's games. So the odds here are 21.26. Wow, for Sunday, let's see what we've got here. Over 2.5 goals, Crystal Palace against Man City, 1.66. Can Crystal Palace beat Man City again as they did in the FA Cup final? No Eze to score the winning goal, of course, in this game. Nottingham Forest, Tottenham, BTTS to land. Sunderland, Newcastle, under 2.5 goals, 1.9. Aston Villa to win away from home despite playing in Europe, evens. Brentford to beat Leeds 1.9, 21.26. I will be monitoring all these as well. Check if you can get better prices elsewhere. For example, 1.66 for Man City, Palace, maybe better odds elsewhere for that. That is the video. Let me know what you think about this episode. What games are you on this weekend? Are you going to try quick filters this weekend? If you want to, you can use the code YouTube for 15% off OddAlerts Pro. Get your comments in, get your predictions in, and I will read every single one of them, and I'll see you in the next one.